What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Right, I'm on the normal game right now, but I have been on the PTS and I'm going to go on it in just a second. But I wanted to do a video comparing kind of a meta build, right? The St. Elmo, a Grupo piece, or maybe a Seska piece, and strikers. Then versus, now we did one of these previously and it was a bit frightening, but with all the changes that they've made, I'm hoping that these things are going to be better. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Right. Okay, so first of all, I've done the test really just around the St. Elmo and the Obliterate chest piece. The reason why is that obviously the Obliterate is just another thing to stack up. I will show you numbers for that at the end though, so you'll feel, you know, you can make your own judgment on that also. Right, so this is what we've got right now. You can see here, this is the build that I'm running. Now, obviously, we would probably run a Coyotes mask here, but again, it's another variable that I don't want to bring into the testing. We just want as straightforward as possible. And then with this, we only have to deal with striker stacks. I have got level 25 expertise on my St. Elmo, but it's the same in the PTS. So that's not a variable either. We're not going to use the firewall shield or anything like that. One thing that there is to note here in the PTS, my crit chance is actually only 57%, and my crit damage is 157. So there's 1% difference in both of these, but then everything else is the same. And that's purely because of the Grupo and Seska changes that they have brought in. So yeah, not quite as good, but hopefully small enough to not make any difference. All right, so let's have a look at what the top end number is on this before I show you any actual tables of stats. And then we'll let it get its reload back. Alright, so it's going to be 1087. So 10877711. And I'm just going to make a very, very, very quick note of that over here. 10877711. Right, okay, and I already know what's going to happen. So let's flip over to the PTS and show you what's going on there. Alright, so now we're on the PTS. You can see the build is the same. We're going to see here that the active modifier is not on either, so we're not getting a boost in damage from that either. And just to show you, like I said, the stats are a little bit different. You can see here they are 57% critical hit chance and 157% critical hit damage. So yeah, not that big of a change. But let's see, you know, just kind of from eyeballing in the range, what kind of numbers this is going to look at. And obviously we've got the mag back, the extra 10 rounds back here as well. We're up at the top now, so we'll let the get its armor back, and we'll just go beep, 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 beep. Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of exactly what I was expecting. No, it's not. Why is that damage number bigger than what I was expecting? Doop-a-doo. That's the top again. Alright, so all of a sudden the game's giving me an extra 200k, which is not right. When I was in testing before, this worked. So let's just go in to see if the modifier is bugged. So let's modifier on, modifier off. Vulnerable elite. Let's get those stacks back up. Alright, so it's hitting for way harder than what it should do. Am I catching health? Ah, there we go, that's right. I was catching health, that's why. When I look at my numbers, that's right. Right, okay, so we're good now. The confusion is over. Everything is fine. So the actual end number there, which if you didn't see, it was 1037. So let me just do that again one more time just to double check, because it's Yeah, is what it is. Yeah, so 1027. You saw it there. I've got it down on my sheet as 1037, which is slightly different, but that could just be me losing the one stack or something because of the reload. So yeah, so let's just take it as is in the game, 1027, just in case. So let's pull up a difference calculator. So we've got our difference calculator up now, and we know that the first number in the normal game was 1087711, and in the game it was 1027,867. So we're going to calculate that. And there is a 5.6, you would round it up, a 5.7% difference in damage. So that's the changes to the St. Elmo and Strikers, which when you look at that per shot, that is not a lot. That is not a lot at all. So yeah, pretty straightforward. I think, yeah, it's going to bring it down. But the question is, are other gear sets going to match up? Because they've changed Heartbreaker again, which is a little bit heartbreaking. I thought it was in a really good spot. I don't think it was overpowerful or not, but yeah, so that is interesting to say the least. So what I'm going to very quickly do though now is I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this. And I'm going to put this over here so that you guys can see this nice and big. That's probably too big. Alright, so that is currently Strikers with glass cannon, right? And not a lot of people like to run glass cannon, which, yeah, I totally get it. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the stats and we're going to go to Obliterate instead. Alright, so we've done the math very quickly and very crude in Paint, but you can see here the top two here. So this is Striker's glass cannon, what we were just playing with right now, and you can see here that this, you know, the headshot here is, you know, 1 million, right? Just over. Now, if we swap that to Striker's Obliterate, you know, in the PTS, so with the changes, so that's Obliterate at 20% and the Striker's Backpack at 0.9%. This is what we're going to get. You can see it's not a lot of difference, right? This is 995. There is not a lot of difference. So there's not really too much of an advantage to running, you know, glass cannon here. You can see here with the burst DPS and the sustained DPS, there's not a huge gap between them. But where it does start to get a little bit interesting is at the bottom here. This is Striker's Obliterate as of right now. Now, I didn't change it exactly. This should be, you know, 1% more because I didn't change the crit chance and the crit damage values, and we know that the crit chance value is 1% higher, lower in the PTS. So this has got the PTS values rather than the real game values. So this number is ever so slightly lower than what it would be in the real game. But you can see here, this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. The numbers really do, you know, for burst DPS especially, they really do drop off, which is rather interesting. When you take into account just the gear set changes. This is taking into no changes to do with the gun. This is not taking into any changes to do with the crit chance and crit damage in the brand sets. This is just taking into account the Obliterate and the Strikers change. And that's like a 9.2% difference when you run it through the difference calculator from it was. Likely to be more of a, I guess, 10% damage reduction in total when you put in the, you know, the difference in crit chance, crit damage, and the gun change as well. So yeah, that's the kind of reduction you're looking at if that's what you're going to be, you know, running as a set. I probably don't think you'll notice too much of a difference. You certainly won't feel any difference with the global modifier turned on because that's going to give you amp damage. But yeah, this is although yes, it is still a nerf, and I get that people will be unhappy about that. It's much more minor now than what it was. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you find it useful. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, by the way, let me know down below in the comments if there's anything you want me to test in the PTS that nobody seems to be covering, and I'll get it covered off for you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.